Hey there. Today I will be making a video to talk about my experience with Leagues 6. Um, yeah, League 6 Demonic Pacts for old school RuneScape. Um, I've had a lot of fun, but I think that fun has run its course. Not to say that I'm burnt out or anything. Just I've hit a decent point. I think I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish. There's still a couple days left in the league, about a week or so, but I think this is where I wrapped it up. Last league for Leagues 5, I think there was about a week left when I finally decided to, I guess, call it more or less. But yeah, we'll just get into it. I will flex the stats first, I guess. I got a lot of 200 mils this league. I think last league I only hit 200 mil ranged, but this league I 200 mil Runecraft because reasons. I'll go over my relics and things like that here in a second, but it's pretty obvious I went Soul Shard. 200 mil attack, 200 mil hit points, 200 mil Mage. I did not end up maxing this league. That was kind of a thought I was kind of battling with myself. I could probably do it, but I don't necessarily have the desire to. The effort that I would put into maxing in leagues, I could just put into the main game doing some other skill or whatever. But yeah, that's those are the stats. But yeah, here's the league's summary. You know what I mean? 960 tasks completed. I got 73,880 points. That actually is well into Dragon rank. And I'm kind of shocked. Leagues 4, I got Rune Cup. That was my first league. Didn't get anything higher than Rune Cup. Leagues 5, I got, I think, almost exactly Dragon rank. I think just barely over Dragon rank. But this league, League 6, I went well into Dragon rank. I got Dragon rank probably a week and a half ago, and I just ended up it just kept having fun. It was one of those things where I hit Dragon rank and I was like, I'll goof around, do a couple more tasks, and probably call it. And then I just kept creating. Just had a little notepad with just tasks that I wanted to keep doing, just to keep pushing myself. But yesterday I actually completed all of the, what was it? I got to elite combat tasks. And I think that was a good icing on the cake task, to just kind of sum it up. It was a big 400 pointer. So I just, I decided that's where I'll call it. There's a couple, I guess, little stats there, right? Decent amount of quests done. I was able to, all the achievement diaries that I could, all the way up to Elite. But yeah, League 6. For the areas, I went, you started Varlamore this league, which is pretty dang cool. One thing I guess I'll get into in a second, but I went Karend, Kandarin, and Asgarnia. Kandarin and Asgarnia were new leagues or new areas for me compared to last league. I did Karend last league. Last league I went Karend, Wildy, Mauritania. Leagues 4, I believe I went Desert, Wildy, Kandarin, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. The return of Echo Bosses was a blast. And picking Kandarin, had to go Mage. I was already thinking of going Mage before, the Echo items came out, just because that's not something I'd done or had the opportunity to do. Yeah, it was a really good time. Echo Espori, same as last league. Echo Thermi was same as last league. This one just dropped a different item, the Shadow Flame Quadrant, which was a Twin Flame Staff on steroids. And then Echo KBD, instead of dropping the Dog Sword, it dropped the Fang of the Hound, or I think a lot of people just kept calling it the Dogger. And that was a lot of fun to use too. But yeah, those are my areas. I'll go over my relics real quick. I went Abundance. Permanent plus 10 boost on non-combats. And so this solved all of my GP problems and a lot of my early do X task with, the different skills. So I was able to do a lot of tasks earlier because I had that plus 10 boost. Went Hotfoot to follow up. That was my cooking and agility solve. A decent amount of my smithing solve as well. Tier 3, I went Map. I think Map of Alacrity was really cool. I think it was a very... Bank Heist, pretty obvious. Takes you to banks. Evil Eye takes you to bosses. It made me think more. I had to really kind of test my game knowledge on where things were. And I thought that was a really neat challenge. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but, it was fun. Tier 4, I went... What was it? I went Clues first to get... Of course, the dogs are going crazy. I went Clues first because I wanted to bang out as much clogs and that kind of thing first. I thought the introduction of these little contract teleport items were neat. I just kind of wish that... I think in previous leagues, you would get full-blown caskets from caskets. So, getting a clue from a casket was kind of bland, but not needing to have items, that kind of stuff was nice. There was some nice payoffs. These were these were pretty easy to farm once I got Asgarnia. I think when I greenlogged beginner clues probably 2 or 3 times over. I haven't checked my clogs, but I had beginner clues greenlogged at 100 KC, but I would just farm them to get contracts, and then I would just save them for the higher tier clues. And then I went Tier 5, I went Soul Harvest. Soul Harvest gave you soul shards instead of bones or ashes to use for Runecraft. And you also got them from farming. So it was super cool. It was a cool way to get 200 mil Runecraft and 50 mil prayer, actually. I went Culling Spree. It was just an easy... KC milestone solve. It was an easy Slayer solve, obviously, a lot of that kind of stuff. Tier 7, I went Reloaded. It almost... I almost feel bad for any tier... For any relic that goes against Reloaded. I was dead stuck on Reloaded before this was even announced, and the only reason I would have considered it if it was Banker's Note, but truth be told, I don't think I needed Banker's Note this league. I learned a lot about this game, and a lot of I was able to do a lot more and push myself a lot more without the crutch of Banker's Note, considering it wasn't an option. And then Tier 8, I went Minion, just because I had clues. It was easy to boost him up. with the extra Zammy items, having him loot. I think the trade-off of the minion not fighting, Yama and not being as strong compared to other minions in the past. The looting effect was just easy as fuck to choose for me. I liked the idea of Flask. It was very much like Last Stand. But having to proc it yourself, having to activate it yourself, it's kind of annoying. I feel like in a lot of the instances where I would have used it, would be like a life save, not as much as a DPS thing. But having the DPS effect was pretty cool. I did see a lot of people using that, especially in like raids and things like that. Executioner, I saw like 1 or 2 or 3 people use it. It was super useful with like raids and things like that. The couple times I would raid with someone that had it, I thought that was pretty neat. Definitely very niche. But originally, I like the relics that I picked. I did have a little bit of, I don't want to say buyer's remorse, but I do kind of wish I picked Endless Harvest, but I did do that last league, or something similar. I can't remember exactly what it was called. Just because of the AFK ability of it was disgusting. Friendly Forager, I was almost about to pick Friendly Forager, and then with Varlamore, you have Mastering Mixology, and Butler became the solve for a lot of things as well. So I just ended up picking Hotfoot. And then, map. Transmute was a cool idea as well. I thought the Spirit Tree seed tech for Zaya to get a bunch of seed packs was a really cool idea. But tier 5, this was a hard choice for me as well. Larcenist ended up being a pretty disgusting relic this league. I almost picked Nature's Accord, but then again with Zaya I had farming contracts and Tithe and all these other things, so I didn't necessarily if I had picked Nature's Accord, it would have been for the Fairy Mushroom before any of the farming benefits. But Larcenist ended up being a pretty disgusting relic. I did pick the Thieving Relic last league, so that was part of my apprehension to choosing it. But Larcenist would have more or less taken care of Conniving Clues, in the sense that each time you pickpocketed a clue, you'd get 10 of them. So it, in a roundabout way, this took care of this. Larcenist took care of Conniving Clues in a way. But again, I enjoyed Soul Harvest. I thought that was really cool. If I had done it any differently, I probably would have gone Abundance, Hotfoot, Alacrity, probably Bell, Soul Harvest, culling, reload into Larcenist. And kind of everything else would have been the same. So instead I would have just gone like Bell, reload Larcenist instead of Clues, reload to Bell. But again, I thought this was really cool. I enjoy doing clues. I think they're pretty fucking fun. If you haven't noticed the swag, and I'll go over my collection log in a little bit. Third Age Plate Skirt. Plate Skirt, Plate Legs. Plate Skirt. So that's disgusting. Third Age, Gilded Two-Hander. I got a lot of... and a lot of potion rolls on Elite, and I think on Hard, Elite, and Master Clues, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty stupid. But here's my league summary. I have not looked at this since starting, so this is pretty nuts. 17 days, 19 hours. I really kind of grinded. I think the first 4 or 5 days off of work when leagues came out. So I definitely no-lifed it a little bit. Total XP 1.337 bill. Elite gamer over here. Total level didn't max. Whatever. High skill is attack, which I think is bizarre, but you know, I think my first 200 mil was Runecraft, so I don't know what the thought is there. My highest hit was a 179. I don't remember seeing that, but that's pretty nuts. Damage dealt 6.45 mil. Damage taken 207 deaths. I died a lot. I really just like brute forced my way through like Doom and Sol until I got those sorted out. Bosses killed 3,900, almost 4K. Did the 150 Echo boss kills. NPC kills 42.8. No PKs, didn't have that. 430 special attacks, 640 special. 640 clues. Wow. Coins gained 56.6 mil. Coins lost max. That's max cash. So I wonder if that's just Death's Coffer and things like that. Highest value item worn 394. I wonder. I'd also be curious what that is. Logs chopped, fish caught, potions, food, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, I went, was it Kandarin, Asgarnia, and then Zaya. Okay. And then there's that. I did get my 40 packs, and that really was kind of the coolest part about this league. I think Raging Echoes was one thing where you got the, I think it was the 6 per weapon or attack style. But I mean, I think this was really cool. I think this is a really cool concept. I really look forward to them expanding on this potentially. But as I've kind of like drug it around, I was basically a Water Thorns almost the whole league. I did use all my resets, but at the end of the day, I did go back to a Water Thorns to just do as much of everything. I did a little bit of time with Max Air Mage, Prayer Mage. Did a little bit of time with Max melee weapon, you know, spec with the Dogger. I had half of mine to build into like a heavy ballista, like a nuke build, but it just, for the areas I had, it just really wasn't that interesting to me. But yeah, this was a ton of fun. I really would have liked to try a melee fire, like a fire dogger build, just because that would work with the fire capstone. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that as well. But let's see. Let me go run to the bank real quick. I'll pull up the. I did get the pet from Cox. Papadile, just one of the cutest fucking things there ever was. But yeah, I'll slap the bank up, you know. Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of the catch-all. I got the elite CAs, like I mentioned. I got the Grardor pet. I got the Grardor pet while AFKing so hard I didn't even notice until I was like 30 KC later. So that was cool. I got a dupe of the Runecrafting pet, but it still counted, so I put it in the bank. I got a dust, and then I had it as Vespina for a second, but I got dust, and then pet, and then I got another dust, and then I actually got a dupe. Voice crack, nice. A dupe of the Cox pet, so that's pretty funny. Searing boots, whatever. And then these are the Echo Orbs in order that I completed them. Butler's Bell, Minion Whistle, Map. Crafting Cape was my quick bank telly. All the Elite Diaries. Western Banner just so I could do my chompies. A couple of other things. I only got one. One Untired. And that's kind of what I wanted to go over. Like, drops, or like boosted drops were so bugged. Personally, it seemed like they were bugged. I went to pity rate for every single Echo Orb, and if I'm not mistaken, I went to pity rate or just shy of pity rate for every single echo item. So doing the 150 echo boss task, I think I might have had to do 6 additional kills once I had unlocked the actual echo items. That was kind of frustrating. There were quite a few things where I feel like I was well over drop rate. Unsired as well. I think I went. Unsired is supposed to be 1 in 20. I think I went to like 60 something KC. So that was kind of annoying. This was my teleports tab. Teleports and runes. Basically, everything looked like this is what my this is what my inventory looked like almost always. Something of a UIM, you know what I mean? But yeah, once I got over 100% regeneration, I just started keeping all these things on me. A couple smoke battle staves, a lot of dust, steam, mist. Steam is from Krill. But here's the big money tab. This is the Slayer tab. Yep, 99 Slayer. Got the Infernal. I got 4 Eternal Gems. There was, I think it was 200 Superiors. And at a point, I just started camping regular Smoke Devils. 6 Imbued Hearts, which is disgusting. I think at one point I got 3 in one task. So yeah, there's a bunch of Sunfire armor from Grinding Soul. I did end up getting max treads. That was the one drop I got from Doom, but I'll go over my collection log later. Yep, Shadow Flame, Tormented. I got a lot of ornament kits because I did a lot of clues. This ended up being my best mage. Typically, if I wanted to tank, I would either do Sunfire or I would go into the melee. Melee items. I dupe on Ferocious Gloves. I think I had 5 of these at one point. I had like 2 or 3 tacits I turned into shards or components, whatever. But I got Torva Plate. I got a dupe. Yeah. I got a dupe Torva Plate legs. I got dupe bulwarks, but I was able to get the Blazing Bulwark kit because of one of the league tasks. I went 2 Ultor rings. I had a shitload of Echo Boots. For some reason, even the fully charged Echo Boots need their own individual bank piece. Regen Basic was my best tank bracelet for a little bit. Dogger, which was pretty awesome. Tet Whip. Dragon Hunter Lance was a packed point, so I grinded that pretty hard. And once I got it, I stopped going to Hydra. And then my best tank shield ended up being a Zami Kite shield. I never got a Visage, which I know they're pretty rare still, even in leagues, whatever. So if I was tanking, it was this, and if I was full DPS, it was Element. So that was cool. Tech Pottle was neat, but once I started getting the actual Moon's weapons, it kind of just started collecting dust. Same thing with Recurve. I don't think I touched Nature's Recurve for more than like 30 seconds. Shitload of arrows, rune arrows, dragon darts. Just, I think I trained ranged at the Crab with dragon darts from like 75 to like 90 range, and I think I started with maybe 100 or 200 dragon darts, and it just over time and a couple other things, I wound up with like 9,300. Void, I just got Void range. Anguish, I got double Zerite Vambraces, so that kind of blew. Dishonest Quiver. I did. There was a task for, I think, 10 soul KC, so I did 10. Originally, I thought I could trade in enough to get the Blessed Quiver, which wasn't whatever, so I just kept... eventually, I just started sacrificing them for pet. No luck, unfortunately. Bunch of Armadillo. I think minus the pet, I think I had Armadillo finished at like 200 something KC. A shitload of Armadillo crossbows, bolts, heavy ballista, a shitload of dragon javelins. I used that for fletching training. Boots of brimstone, devout boots, 26 occult necklaces, 27 if you count the ornament kit. Diary stuff, a couple of tentacles, Moon's armor. Like, Moon's was kind of odd for sure, because I would do... There's a 50 KC for Moons. I did Moons to a point. Like, I had Eclipse Moon done, and before I got anything else, I was getting dupe helms like crazy. I think I ended up with like 4 dupe helms. So I did Red and Blue Moon for a little while, whatever, and it just became too fast enough that I was just doing them all. It doesn't matter. So I did think I ended up with like 4 Moon helmets, Eclipse helmets, and then by the time I had gotten that. 7 Dragon Hostas, 4 Tonsillitis, bunch of Staff of the Dead, a bunch of Zami Spears when I turned into a Hosta. Just with Asgarnia, I mean, I basically AFK'd all of the God Wars bosses. So I got a shitload of shards. I got a Soul Reaper Axe, which is pretty awesome. I got an extra piece of Soul Reaper Axe. And not all, but 4 of the 5 God Swords. That's how I kind of separated them. Didn't get one from Nex. I'm not really going to try. Soloing Nex with my build took way too long. Mass Worlds, the drops are not as consistent. Double Fire Element Crown. Did not get the Ice Crown to make a Twin Flame Staff. And that's another thing. I think it was like 1 in 15 drop. And I think I've got like 70 something KC with them, but whatever. Decent amount of Awakener's Orbs. I probably used like 10 of these on Awakened Verdorvis. Never got that KC. Soulflame Horn. This is the only unique I got from Yama, which kind of sucked, but all of my Yama KC was solos. I got a decent amount of shards, I guess, but because I think those were boosted, dropped. Not boosted rate, but boosted amount. I got a Kodai, I got a Buckler, and I got D-Claws, which were fun. D-Claws was a lot of fun when I got those because of the spec on the sub 1 kg weapons. Fishing / food tab. I would say 90% of this was from Butler. I actually got 35 mil and Hunter stuff. I got 35 mil cooking today. So that was pretty fun. Did the 50 Hunter rumors. Was able to get the full outfit, the kit, whatever. 2 Infernal Harpoons, 3 Smoldering Ashes, so 5 total. Bunch of worms from Yama, whatever. This was my mining, crafting, smithing, that kind of thing. Mining, shooting stars was again my go-to for this league. So was able, and since I had Asgarnia, I was able to actually use things. So I got the kit, I got the outfit, I got the gold outfit, I got the ring. I was gonna mine to make Oath Plate, but that shit was miserable too. Didn't want to deal with that. I'd say, again, about 90% of this was from Yama, or not, geez, not from Yama, but from Butler. I used all my rune bars for more smithing to get 99 smithing. Gems, as drops, different things. Bowstrings ended up being my 50 mil crafting solve with Butler, just because of how many it collected and how much XP you got per collected item. So I believe I've got a bowstring spool full of 100k and then this many extras, so that was pretty nuts. I did Butler for planks for a little while, so that's where all those came from. Did get a gilded axe, so that was a fun little flex. A couple fletching knives, a couple fletching things, and then pyromancer outfit down here. This was my farming, kind of potion making, whatever. Decent amount of bottomless buckets. I put my thieving outfit here because it just helped for thieving master farmers. Seed box, reagent pouch, Eldarium. Just kind of the clean, seeds, clean, dirty, unfinished from Butler again. Made unfinished potions was, I think, any of the unfinished potions would have came from Butler, honestly. Bunch of grinded 300 Seracnus, which I had the pet from the previous league, but I got the other transmog from a grubby key, so that was cool. So I now have all 3 colors for Seracnus. A bunch of demonic tallow from Yama to make surge potions. Those are actually super useful for getting the Thermi task to do spec only damage. Prayer regen potions, whatever. These were like the potions I used, basically. Seeds, tree seeds, whatever. And then just a bunch of miscellaneous, less useful ones. And then a bunch of little crap down here. Anti-venom pluses got from Elite or Master Clue. But yeah, here's a clue tab. Kept all the extra clue contracts. Once I had greened things, I kind of moved them over here, either green or completed the highest tasks associated with them. So it was like, this is green, beginners didn't have anything else for it. I think easy, it was like 25 and 75 KC for them, and then it was like a couple like clog related tasks. So had all these done. I really could bang out more, but I got like enough for like the mimic KC tasks, a couple of the like master glue tasks. But these are all the things I could not put in the POH because I completely ran out of bank space more than a few times. So much so that I used all of my cash stack to buy max bank space because that transfers over. And that is something I learned from Mr. Mudkip's videos, so shout out to him for that. But yeah, bunch of ornament kits. Capes I couldn't do. You can't stash those for some reason, which is weird. It was fun to run around in Full Ninja from the Master Clue, so I just did that. Or Samurai, sorry. And there's just a couple little things that I never put away. This kind of became the junk tab. Just miscellaneous clog related things or just loot. Giant Soul Amulets became the bane of my existence. Royal Titans was fun, but these were like 1 in 3 drops, so it was like every fucking other drop, every other kill I got one of those, and it was very frustrating. A shitload of Eternals. I don't know why I never put these up here with this. I had every boot like very many times over, and then I like before my first Smoldering Stone, and then I ended up with like 5 Smoldering Stones. Huey Codal, I was able to get everything but the pet CAs included from Huey Codal in my 50kc task, and then this was just kind of like Alks, a couple Dexes, and then this is all my dupe pets from last league. Or not dupe, I just say extra pets from last league. And a couple other miscellaneous things. Chompy hats, Yama things. But this isn't enough to make a piece of oath plate, let alone 3. So, yeah, that's the bank. Total value, just shy of 5 bill, 4.8 bill. Yeah, that's that. I'll go over the collection log because I got a shitload of collection logs. 777. Because there was a task for 750, and I got that a while ago, so it just kept kind of slowly adding up. But yeah, I'll quickly go over this. It's gonna be a longer video, but whatever. It's just that's what this is for. It's for fun. Sire, I got this. I'm not kidding. At like 63 or some shit like that. Went back for a couple. Didn't end up doing anymore. Not really worried about it. Damn dogs. Got the Lance drop at I think 168, so that was cool. Glad I didn't. I think at last league I had like 3 fucking brimstone rings. That was whatever. Moxliotl, super chill. Let's see, Serb. I AFK'd this one the most. Realistically, I could AFK this for the pet if I wanted to, but I'm not worried about it. God Wars Zilliana. Again, weird drops. Like, I think the Ceradoma's Light was like a 1 in like 30 or 1 in 50 drop. Never saw it. Doom. I got the 1 Deep Delve KC for the Pact point. And then I would just bang out like 1 to 6s because I don't have it in me or the skill set to get Deep Delve KC. And then if I'm not mistaken, if I did the math right, I think treads were like a 1 in 200 drop if I was doing like around 1 in 200 drop. If I was doing 1 to 6 clears, and I got it maybe at like 400. Did a couple more to try to get like Confliction Gauntlets or the IAC, but you know, no luck. 13 Fight Caves. I got 10 Coliseum completions. Fastest was 744. I had a lot of fun with Soul. I think I learned a lot about Soul Heritage, and that was really cool. That was a fun boss. That was a fun thing to do, and water thorns you were able to skip a decent amount of the mechanics. So yeah, that's cool. Grardor, green at 270. Giant Mole, I did the 150 task, and then there was also a task turning 100 claws. Hespori, yeah, that's cool. I was able to get the the speed CA on that. Huicoatl, got everything but pet for the 50 kill task. Inferno, I got the 5 KC. I probably did about 10 Inferno runs, but I'd say about majority of them were on my phone, on mobile. So I did end up dying a handful of times, whatever. Kraken, got everything from Kraken minus a pet. Yeah, I could have gone for the 10 to upgrade the whip. Update the staff. Kree, Kree, I had done it 106 KC, so that's cool. Krill, I AFK'd Krill so hard. I went to take a shower and came back still fighting Krill, so that was pretty damn funny. And this was another funny drop rate situation where it's like, I think I had 7 or 8 of these and 10 plus of these, 7 or 8 Zami spears, 10 steam battle staffs before I even got my first staff of the day, and ended up getting the 5. Moons, I had 4 helms and two legs. So once I found out, I didn't realize you could trade these in and get a chance at a different one from the NPC in that area. So that's really cool. I traded those in. No luck, unfortunately. Next, I got 139 KC, 2 Vambraces, 2 legs. It's just weird. Royal Titans, I got 70 KC. I got each of the scrolls, the prayer scrolls. 2 crowns. Arachnus, got a shitload of this stuff. I was able to trade these in for more keys. Scotizo, I didn't get shit. Thermi, I only killed a little bit of it. Normal one off task, or normal one on task, just to get the CAs done, basically. For Ardorvis, I went for the 300 kills. This is where I got majority of everything. 2 Ultors. I think I got one mask and 1 robe bottoms from Vardorvis, and I got the other mask from Whisperer. No luck on the body, unfortunately. Yep, there's the Whisperer. Never got a Bellator rig. I didn't see a single gold ring from Whisperer, actually. For Vardorvis, I went probably about 100 and something. And between like 110 and 130, I had gone from 0 rings to my first Ultor ring, which is pretty gross. Winterchild, I did 58, so I could get, I think it was 25, yeah, 25 mil fire making. A lot of dupe things there. Yama, 85 kills. These were all solos. I guess you could count these as uniques, whatever, but the only, you know, I didn't have those. Raids, I had Chambers this league. Raids really, honestly, weren't even necessary with the way the demonic packs were laid out, but I still wanted to learn more Chambers, and I've enjoyed the shit out of it. But yeah, double pet, double dust. Kodai is technically a mega rare, so Sag. I didn't even see a voucher for anybody. Got those. Again, weird dupe stuff before getting any other clogs. Like, I think I went back 3 on Ancestral Robe Bottoms. That was weird. But Beginner Clues, banged these out, like, I guess technically 4 times over because of Easy Clues. Did 96 of them, actually. Holy smokes. Scroll through all the collection logs. A lot of really cool stuff. Vestments were a really good early game, and then with Prayer Mage. Medium clues, dude. I was so happy I got Ranger Boots. I fell out of my seat. I was so grateful for that. Double Holy Sandals, so I turned one into Holy Mollies. I turned the other one into Devout Boots. That was awesome. Again, a lot of dupes before additional clogs. Hard clues, a lot of the God items, God rune items, which is awesome. The only full ones I got were Bandos and Zami for the God D-Hide. Bunch of this crap. Elite clues, I got no Ring of Third Age, unfortunately. A ton of Holy Wraps, I just realized. That's odd. Bunch of all the Dragon Masks. You know, nothing exciting. Briefcase, which is funny. Master Clue, I got 44 Master Clues done, which was a lot of fun. No Bloodhound, unfortunately. A guy in my CC got a Bloodhound, and I think he might be one of 10 people that probably have a Bloodhound in League's Pets. Yeah, here's all the Master Clues. And then here's the Mega Rares, I guess. They all, I guess, apply, but yeah. Third Age Plate Skirt, 2 Gilded Two-Handers, a Gilded Coif, and a Gilded Axe. And then Shared, not like that matters, whatever. BA, banged out roll all 5s, and then Fighter's Torso to get those tasks. Had enough for the 3. Brimhaven Agility, another easy one. Bunch of Agility XP. This is a Pirate's Hook is always like a 400-point task. A game of Castle Wars was a task, and then I got a bunch of clogs from that. Trawler. I did the one delivery for Gnome Restaurant. Mahogany Homes was another good one for construction training. Once I got the items for that, it was pretty awesome. My construction training from 89 to 35 mil was Demonic Thrones, actually. And with the outfit, it made it just like disgustingly easy. Mastering Mixology, got that green. Pest Control, did that. I probably could have gone back for the rest, but whatever. Rogue's Den. Tithe, I got a couple of, majority of those. Veil Totems, I got that as well. That wasn't available, but I had the arm, you know. Fishing Rod, I got from that. Not bad. But here's all the pets now as of League 6. I got the Gerardar pet, and I got a double Ulm pet, and another runecrafting pet, so that's pretty awesome. Cam Dozel, I got a couple clogs for that. None of that. Chompy Bird Hunting was super easy just because it was like 1 kill counted as 8. So banging out, I think this task was a 200-point task. It was like 200-something kills. Colossal Worm Agility, free tasks, or free clogs. I could have gone for more of these if I needed to, whatever. Easy clogs. D-Defender was a pact point as well. Nothing really Forester related. Demonic Gorillas was crazy too, because like for the 500 KC task, I think I had one Zenite at like 360 KC, and I probably had this many 744 for ballista pieces in 300 some KC. These were all rarer than a Zenite. And then by 500, I had 4 more Zenites and the rest of the ballista pieces. So that was cool. Hunter's Guild got all that crap. Monkey Backpacks. Got the couple for the tasks. Motherlode Mine. Got the pieces. My notes. I was going to bang these out for easy clogs as well, but didn't need to. Random events. Decent amount of those. There was a task to equip a mime outfit piece, and I had 4 mime random events, and I got the emote every time. I did not get a mime piece, unfortunately. I got a shitload of rooftop agility. I got a shitload of marks of grace because of the way Apatol works now, giving you those, and the way Hotfoot works once they fixed that. Easy 25 clogs. Easy clogs. Skilling pets. Not dupe. Last league. Got it last league, gotta dupe this league. Slayer. 6 hearts, 5 gems. Shitload of these. Went for all the necks. Whatevers. Bunch of easy little crap. Didn't have TDs. Czar, I got a couple, but again, just like dupes before other stuff. Miscellaneous. Couldn't use these. Now I have both of those. Yeah, that's kind of everything. I think I am pretty satisfied with everything that I've learned and done this league. I kind of look forward to taking a little break, but I'm grateful for all the goofing off I got to do. You know what I mean? I had a lot of fun, and I guess I look forward to the next league. I might this year might be the year. I really think I could confidently get a Soul Heretic KC in the main game. Might even try the Inferno. Start the Inferno attempts once I get a decent cash stack built up, some decent gear for the Inferno. But yeah, I guess that's really kind of everything. Again, sorry it's a super long video, but that's it. I'll probably log on once or twice more just to check my butler, see if I can get another little milestone task, little XP milestone task or something like that. But I think that about does it, man. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I guess I'll make another one eventually. Bye!